Hey everybody, Darren Kellerman here with a special episode, not even really an episode, of Squarely on the Level. Sometimes we put off things that we know we need to do, and we put them off because maybe we're uncomfortable doing them or just not quite sure. And then there comes a point when it's too late and we have some regrets that we didn't do those things. And I'm kind of at that point, and I don't want to have any regrets, and that's where I'm asking for your help today. Several weeks ago, while I was at work, I received a phone call. The number that pops up, I don't recognize, and the city label on it says Washington, D.C. While I do know a few brothers that work in Washington, D.C., I'm not expecting any calls from them. No reason for anybody from Washington, D.C. to be calling me. But I answer, and I'm very glad that I did. Brother Juan tells me that his father, past master from a Puerto Rico lodge, has recently moved to Topeka and lives with his sister there. And his health is not doing too good. And he had been admitted to the hospital, and he was asking if Topeka area brothers or anybody could go visit him. Knowing I would be in Topeka in several days, I don't want to put this task off on somebody else. So I waited, and when I went to Topeka, I went to the hospital to visit my brother's father. When I got there, I inquire, and they say the name's not familiar. They're not showing it on the register. And we look. I had a very helpful young man. He took me through several floors, talked to several of the staff, and yes, they remember him, but he's no longer here. I start having those instant regrets. And I call Brother Juan. And he tells me his father is no longer in the hospital because he's been moved to another hospital. And he is actually in Topeka. And he thanked me for checking up on his father and such. That wasn't good enough for me. So I traveled to where Brother Juan and his family were at. And I met his father, met his mother, his sister, and some of the family friends. And they thanked me for checking up on him, and I felt very, very bad because I didn't do it in a timely manner, even though 1 or 2 days probably is timely, but there's that sense of it could have been much worse. So I recently received a text message from Brother Juan, and let me read it to you here. It says, "Good afternoon. Thank you for visiting my dad last week at the hospital. I'm happy to report he improved, has been transferred back to his original hospital in the residence ward. He still continues under their care for different conditions. Have a good day and stay safe." So I inquired if it would be okay if some visitors stopped by, and he said yes, and I've got the room number and such. And when I went, Brother Juan's father, I think, was very surprised to see me. And I had stopped by Grand Lodge and picked up some stuff to take him, took him a Masonic book, because I wasn't expecting anybody to be there, so I didn't want him to be alone. Took a current edition of the Kansas Mason and such. Grand Master Talbot had given me an emblem to give him, and I did, and it went over very well. So what I'm asking you, Area 6, currently, lodges, for those who don't know, the areas and districts, they always seem to be changing, and that's fine because it's administrative only. But the Area 6 lodges right now are the Topeka area lodges. And you can go online, use a lodge locator. I discovered today the lodge locator is not working, but you can still see the lodges in the Topeka area. The other way to find lodges in an area is if you go to Grand Lodge, you get this advanced proceeding book, and in the back of it is a list of all the lodges listed by city. And so I went online this morning and looked at the lodge locate. Then I looked at the manual here and looked at the map. Everything seems to jibe up, of course. But just so we all know who I'm talking to, Lake Lodge, Golden Rule, Siloam, Topeka, Justice, Orient, Mount Zion, Lecompton, Albert Nice, Dover, and Wakarusa. Those are the lodges that are close to Topeka, have members in and around. Now I know Mount Zion and Justice are somewhat affinity or occasional type lodges that don't meet full-time and their members are dispersed statewide. But the other lodges, I know you live right around the Topeka area. And How nice would it be for a Mason in the hospital to be visited by his brother that he hasn't met before? What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? Do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour to stop by and visit a brother? If you have time to visit Brother Juan's father, just contact me. squarelylevel@kansasmason.org, or if you know my other emails, kellerman@kansasmason.org works. Reach out to me. I'll get you the information to put you in contact with Brother Juan's father. He would love to have family visit. And if you're watching this and you're Mason, you are family. I did reach out to the Grand Lodge of Puerto Rico through the Grand Lodge of Kansas to inform them that they had a brother who was sick, and the local lodge there in Puerto Rico has been informed. They were very grateful. But that's how we do things. Brothers reach out. We don't have to know each other, but we all knelt down in front of an altar and took an obligation. And that makes us family. So whether it's Brother Juan's father or another brother, if they're in the hospital or just at home alone, it's time to reach out. Sit down and talk to them. I don't want you to have regrets before it's too late. Until next time, keep it squarely on the level.